are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A first carry for a Miami native. This is Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run it again with Cook. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go play action. Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back to the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Cousins. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah that time able to drop him for a loss. On 4th down, Matt Araiza is sent on to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be Dolphin football. A first update now from Cleveland. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker at the bottom of your screen for other updates around the NFL here in Week 6. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. Play action now. Bridgewater. And going deep for Hill. And he's got it inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Bridgewater will try and throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, Bridgewater. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run on first down. Edmonds. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meeting?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, in a tight game like this, that could be an incredibly important pick six, CD. And remember, it cancels out the one that the opposition had earlier in this ball game.
You're right about that, partner, because each side came up with plays to swing the momentum their way. Still plenty of time left for either team to come through with a win, though. Can someone else make a similar play and win it for their club?
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And this is back to a 5-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Taken from about the 12. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Back to it after the pick six. Bridgewater. That's complete to John Ross. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
This defense for the Vikings, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Edmonds running out of the shotgun.
Oh, Edmonds has it knocked loose.
And this belongs to the Vikings. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. First down, here's the run with Cook. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. Second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Cook again.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Cousins now. Got an open man finding Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings!
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Joseph on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken from about the 12. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive.
Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Throwing, Bridgewater. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Jalen Waddle,
His first touchdown on the year.
and the Dolphins are once again back in front.
They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. They'll look to throw.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by a South Florida native, Patrick Peterson.
And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On third down, Cousins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
Matt Araiza now on to punt this one away. Here's Hill on the return. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd down, Gaskin. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Eric Kendricks drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Cousins to throw it. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys.
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off Byron Jones. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. He'll take it inside the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Bridgewater.
They'll drop this one underneath to Gaskin. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Running on 1st down with Gaskin.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
They'll run here with Gaskin.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Gaskin is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line.
Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
They'll try to run with Gaskin.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami.
Myles Gaskin, his first rushing touchdown on the year.
And they are able to add on to their advantage. This time, the extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Pulls it in at the 13.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
So problems compounding themselves. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Second down, here's Mostert again.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Here's Bridgewater. And a loose football. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. He knows.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Play fake. Bridgewater. And going deep for Hill. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
First down, Bridgewater. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Mike Gesicki has really emerged as one of the Miami Dolphins' primary targets, and he can run the entire route tree. We know he's dependable in the short areas, but he can also stretch the field down the middle. A career-high 73 catches last season, and he gets another one here to move the chains.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. This will be caught inside the 10.
And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd and goal from the 1. On the sneak, it's Bridgewater. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Sanders' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Cousins on first down. That'll be complete to Cook. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
To throw again on second down, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Nick Needham picks it off. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just...
And he loses the football a second time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Remember, earlier in this game, he lost a fumble. This time, it hit the deck, but he got it back.
Yeah, do you think he's breathing a monster sigh of relief right now? Could you imagine losing 2 in the same game and how that would affect you moving forward? Well, for him, high and tight, just like a good haircut. Never go wrong that way. Hold that football.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Able to hang on to the ball this time, and in the process, picks up the first down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it's enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
The stop made there by Chandon Sullivan.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line.
2nd and 10.
Throwing is Bridgewater.
Over the middle and complete to Waddle. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a lead.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Down to the 25.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Bridgewater to throw it.
Open man is Waddle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved.
2nd down and another run with Edmonds.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, they run with Edmonds. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. So on fourth down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. This from 32 yards away. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So they got the turnover, starting with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On second down, Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Cousins. He finds his man Johnson. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to make it fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now.
Second down and another run with Edmonds.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
To throw is Bridgewater. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because it's stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ballgame, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
2nd down and another run with Edmonds. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Cook following the penalty. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Ooh, with a juke. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Play action now. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Xavier Howard. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Play action now. Bridgewater. He is going to find Hill here.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll run with Edmonds again. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd.
And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Steps away. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Down to about the 45.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Second down, here's Mostert again. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
On second down, Mostert. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory.